No. Ah, there we go. Contrary to what you might think, this is not a Genshin stream. As the title suggests, we're animating. We're animating again. I just put in Genshin music because I want to listen to some, because Genshin music nice, me likey. So, oh shoot, sorry. So, I was gonna say something, what was it? Oh yeah, like, how long has it been since I have animated on stream? I genuinely don't remember, because I didn't do it often. I never did it often. I would usually draw on streams, but I would almost never animate on stream. I would on some occasions, but I don't know. There was like a weird part of me that was like, I don't want you to get spoiled, question mark? I don't want you to get spoiled, I guess, from me streaming. And that's why I didn't do it that often. And I don't know if I still will do it that often. But, you know, what I'm working on right now is a short, sweet little animation, that, like, it's only, like, gonna be, like, 30 seconds long, and I don't even want it to be, like, a full-blown animation. It's definitely going to stay in, like, the rough sphere. I'm just doing it to, you know, get practicing again. Get practicing again. Because I haven't, like, properly animated in a long time, actually. So, you know, might as well, you know? Alright. Let me just, set everything. Oh, sorry. I keep bumping the mic. I feel like I'm going to be doing that a lot this stream. I'm going to be bumping the mic quite often. Alright. I don't know, yeah, I'll pick the drawing tab. Alright. Wait, actually, I don't know how that would look like on the stream itself. I need to actually see. I don't know how it looks, because, like, I zoomed in, I mean. Okay, it doesn't look that bad. Okay, it looks fine, actually. Yeah, I can work with this. That's alright, I can work with this. Actually, I think I might need to move the mic a little bit, because I have a feeling I'm gonna be bumping into it more than I would if I simply moved it. Bear with me. There. Something. Okay. But for real. Animating. That's what we're doing. So, you could ask, hey, Pep, what's this animation about? Well, very simply, it's gotta do with my Robin Hood shit. Oh, yeah, we're back to that, guys. We're back to that. Because, as some of you might know from a couple of my older videos, well, older as in the sense of, like, videos that a little bit before, I am on my mini training arc. Okay, not mini training arc. I'm on my own little, like, training arc of, like, how to make a manga. And I'm not making a manga here, but, like, I've been thinking a lot about the story. Well, I always think about the story, but seriously. I've been seriously, like, for reals, thinking about the story a lot since I'm, like, getting closer and closer to achieving that eventual goal. Harmony Link says, I wish I had the patience to make storyboards. I always just start sketching the animation so I don't lose interest. That's a good way to start, honestly. Like, only do the most important stuff first, or the most integral part first. And then all of the little details at the very end. That's just like what people do with art in general. Nah, I need to make one for you. How's the calibration? It's alright. Maybe like 15. Keep it at 15. Yeah, I'll keep it at 15. Okay, so what I'm gonna be doing now is that these are, like, the storyboards that I made. I'm pretty much just going to be, I kid you not, I'm pretty much just going to be redrawing them, until, okay, like, redrawing them to look more like how the characters are supposed to look like, until, I like when I finish that, I'm actually gonna do like the in-betweens and all that fun stuff. So I think the stream is just mostly gonna be like me redrawing these fellers. So yeah. Okay, so with you, oh suck. I had some sketches of it in my. I had some sketches of this guy that I posted when I couldn't stream. Yeah, when I couldn't stream earlier. So I need to change you. The low res as well is low key. It's not bugging me. It's fine. Okay, maybe it is bugging me just a little bit, but I didn't think they were going to be that low res when I like transferred them here. No, it's not a good circle. Like, I don't have to make a perfect circle because this is just for the head and I'm erasing most of it anyway. But I at the very least need a base. Like a very good base to start with. Okay, that's good, that's good. That's alright. Okay. No, I still need to keep it turned. Is that too long? Is that chin too long? Well, I kind of wanted it to be long, though. Yeah. No, actually, that's good. Chin's good. I like it. Okay. And I don't know if you'd be able to see the ears. I'll just do that, and I might erase it later. I don't know. We'll see. That's gonna be a lot. That's gonna be the main thing I'm going to say in this stream is just, we'll see. Neck is too long. Yeah, no, neck is too long. More like here, I guess. And actually, no, okay, I'm just going to draw the face, the head part first, and then move it to the body, because it's starting to look a little odd. Just a little bit. Hold on a second, actually, something's funky. Not in the drawing, I mean, like, hold on a sec. Okay, we're good, we're good. So, yeah, no, I'll draw, do I draw the eyes? Yeah, I guess I'll draw the eyes. No, okay, too big, too big. Okay, I'm gonna move this down a little bit. I don't like this part. This part just feels weird to me. Of course, his eyes have to like end at a point. Okay. And then his nose. line. And what kind of smile you got? You got like a hee hee. Oh, that's good. I like it. Oh, that's even better. I like that. Okay. Yeah. I like that. I'm just gonna move this eye. I think it's a little too big. Move this eye just a little more like that. Beautiful. Amazing. Perfect. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, now the head's too big. Darn. It's okay, we're just sizing down. Make them a little smaller because it's getting a little too big for the rest of the scene. It's probably gonna happen a lot. I'm gonna do a lot of resizing. Darkstar says, "Hi, what are you making today?" I'm just making a little animation that I suddenly got hella inspired to make. It's based on one of my stories, and when I mean my story, I mean like legit my story. Well, somewhat. It's an adaptation. Anyway, that's like it's based on a story that I'm working on, that I've been working on. I had a little of inspiration, and I wanted to make it. So, yeah. I need to redo this line. I don't like it. Actually, maybe I should just do the line last. No. Okay. It just doesn't feel skinny enough. Okay. Sorry, I just, I feel like I need to adjust my mic a little more for this. I guess that works. I think that works. I don't know. Alright. Oh, how could I forget his widow's peak? Okay, now I can properly draw his hood. His stupid hood. That will be the reason why a good chunk of this is gonna be erased. That's how it be. Ain't that just the way? Okay. This be a bit like... Alright. Of course, go all the way up here. Look at that. Beautiful. Now I can erase everything that was here. Darn. Okay. And then the stupid animal ears. Wait, actually, because... probably look more like that, actually. I think it would look more like that. Yeah. Wait, no, actually, okay, yeah. I don't think I have to move the head then. I think we're fine. I think we're good. Darkstar says, do you do drawing like a job? I can't see myself doing it as a job. I see it as a hobby. I want to make it a job. That's definitely a goal of mine. But I am also okay with it, with just being a hobby. Whatever works, I guess, for me. Whatever works, I guess. All I know is that, like, I don't know, being paid to draw sounds really, you know, very nice. But it's both, I guess. But I definitely would like to make it as a job, though. Oops. Okay, then I can do... I don't think I need to... Hold on a second. Let me see something, actually. Something feels a little... Huh. Makes sense, I guess. You guys have no idea what I'm, like, getting hung up about. I guess so. I was looking up horsehide really quickly, but horsehide is really not that thick, is it? No, you can't see the shoulder really well. So we'll just do it like that. Or I don't know if I want to keep it fluffy, that's the thing. Because horse hair really isn't fluffy, not in that way at least. It really isn't. Because part of me just wants to do this, but then that just kind of looks like normal clothing, but it's supposed to be horsehide. At the same time, horsehide is really just leather, right? It really is just leather, but like, out of a horse instead of cow. Well, I guess in that case. And then, of course... Darkstar says, I wish you the best of luck on your hobby job. Yeah. What song is this? What song is this? It's Fontaine. Definitely Fontaine. Yep. Okay. Alright, not bad. It's okay. It's fine. It does what it's... yeah. It's fine. He's just gonna leave for now. Oh, maybe I should shut that off. Alright, and then... oh, whoops. Oh, I made a mistake. I labeled them wrong, but I'm too lazy to label them correctly, so I'm just gonna do that. Bam. You. Time to doodle you. Okay. Of course, there's always the head. Slap the boy in here. Maybe like, oh, a little bit like that, I guess. All right. I'll take you like here, I guess. Yeah, I'll take him like here. Is that too small? I don't know. I can't tell. I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. I don't know. I don't know if I'll regret that. We'll see. Again, that's gonna be like the main phrase of this stream. It's just we'll see, because that's how I draw. Some of it is just flying off the seat of my pants and hoping it looks good at the end. You know what is trust the process. Oh, you gotta trust the process, as the old masters used to say. Okay, because I have most of his body already down, I can just oh shit. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that for now. As for you, yeah, I'm not gonna... You're only going to see this hand for like a 16th of a second, so I'm putting effort in this hand. It's like, you'll notice it's so little, there's no point in me trying to put detail on it. Oh, why is the... Maybe I'm tripping. So I think this has to be a bit more higher up, I think. Like here, I think, actually. Oh. It works. I don't know. It's fine. Okay. Okay. Oops, okay. Sorry if I'm a little quiet. I'm just like... I mean, I guess that's another reason why I always struggled to make drawing streams. It's because I could never, like, find a way to make it entertaining either. Because, I mean, yeah, most of it, like, this is how I work. Like, this is literally how I work. I just draw. Most of the time in absolute dead silence. And, okay, his arm's kind of going over the bow here. Okay. Actually, I think I might do his sleeves here. God, I love how... I was going to comment on the music. I kind of lost track. I love how, like, Fontaine's music has that, like, quote-unquote classical vibe to it. Like 1800s, like, opera type vibes. But at the same time, it's also very folky. Like this song playing right now is, like, okay, it's not folky, but, like, I mean, like, it feels like a song that has been passed down through generations type feel. Like, it wasn't necessarily, like, it's not a track necessarily made for the stage, or, I don't know. It's so good. I'm not a music expert whatsoever, but my god do I love the music here. Your arm is too thick, boy. Thin it out a little more. Okay. Kenizerg says hello there. Hi. Welcome to the stream. We're chilling here. I'm chilling mostly. Okay. Okay, I think now I can just draw the cloak. Ooh, that cloak is going to be a nightmare to animate, and I'm gonna hate that. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Boy, do I love to torture myself. I mean, we can keep you like this. Like that. That's easy. That's easy. And then... Actually, I could do that. Move this part here. Yeah, that works, that works. Oh yeah, no, that very much works. Perfect, awesome. Right. I could draw the handle here. Handle of the bow. Right. Okay, yeah, I think I can draw his face now. Naki asks the app. This is actually Toon Boom Harmony. Yes, the Toon Boom Harmony. It's the Toon Boom Harmony, as in the one you pay for. As in the industry standard. Yeah. Because Toon Boom Harmony is like Clip Studio Paint, where I used alternatives for years, but the second I actually touched this, I was like, hell nah, like, I'm not letting this go. The second I touched this one, never went back. Oh shoot, I forgot to draw the line. I did. It's a little too long. He's supposed to be, like, looking at you. Kinda. Yeah, like that. And you just kind of look like, holy shit, what the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Okay. Drawing is very calming. It is indeed. It soothes your brain, and yet it energizes it at the same time. Like, how do you even do that? Does this thing have a stabilization thing? I don't like that. Because I'm one of those weird artists who actually doesn't like stabilization in, art programs. I actually don't. And I know that sounds like blasphemy amongst the art community, but, like, it's because I don't like the delay. The delay messes with me. Okay. And the feather could be here. It's gonna remove this. And his hair. This is mostly a Fontaine playlist. I promise you that I only put, like, it wasn't supposed to be... I just clicked on a random, like, Genshin music video, but it's a lot of Fontaine music. I'm not complaining. I love Fontaine music. I'm just noticing it. Okay. Got to here. And then this part. Not too different. Not really. I think I am gonna have to turn on onion skin for this. Oh, actually, first, maybe I should draw him first. Just so that I don't get, like, utterly confused. Utterly kerfuffled. Yeah, I think I'm gonna draw him first. Oh, perfect. I kind of already have a... Hold up, I need to look at this. No, get out of here. Leave. Okay. I need to look at his profile again. Hold up. Okay. I think I'll leave it here. And then... Oops. Yeah. Beautiful. Incredible. Perfect. Amazing. Okay. And the ears, probably... There we go. What is it? Inazuma now? Yep. Okay. Got that. Does it look... Yeah, it looks the same. Yeah. Yeah, it pretty much looks the same. Ooh. Maybe instead of a belt, he has a cord. That'd be cool. I'm putting those I'm not putting those details though. I'm too lazy for that. I'm too lazy to put the details of a cord. But, you know, maybe it couldn't be a cord, actually. I, like, just thought about that, guys. I just thought about that. I'm making hot dogs, says Darkstar. Awesome. Oops. What's your favorite food? That is a question that I absolutely hate because I genuinely don't know. Like, there's so many foods that I like, I genuinely don't know what I would consider my favorite. I mean, I don't know, I guess, like, the food that, like, I like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess the food that I like the most to eat, like, but I like it because it's, like, on rare occasions. So, is it that good? Like, is a favorite food something you enjoy because it's a rare occurrence? Or do you like it because you eat it all the time? You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I hate that question because I genuinely don't know. I guess, like, the food I get the most excited to eat, specifically because it's not common, is, carne asada, which is, like, it's kind of like steak, but a little different. I think it's, like, a different cut of the animal as well. Like, I love carne asada so much. Like, I'm not even that big of a meat person. Actually, it might be because I'm not that big of a meat person. It's, like, the only time I actually get to understand why people think meat is good. But I guess, like, a food that I just love to eat, just, like, normally, would be, like, fried plantains. Yeah. Again, it's a question that I hate, because I genuinely don't know. Oh, sorry, I stopped working for a little bit. No. Okay. Okay. And... yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, okay, his sleeves don't have to be, like, that voluminous. Not yet, anyway. Yo, did I keep him lanky in my thumbnails? Ugh, I better have. I better have kept this man lanky in the thumbnail stage. I should have. Darkstar says, my favorite is lasagna. I don't eat it every day, but it is my fave. Nice. You know, lasagna is pretty good, too. Okay. Maybe a little bit of this. Hide some detail. A little sneak in a little bit of detail. Hee hee hee. Alright, alright. This part. No, okay, I don't do not like how it's looking so far. Not a fan. Email says, the Industrial Revolution and its consequences. What do you mean? Cyberlore says, hello everyone. Got to school too early. Dang. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep it like that for now. Yeah, I'll keep it like that for now. And your stupid hair. Or what if instead I make it a bit more like... Make it more like that. I don't know. I guess it works. Bruh, this pixelation. Okay. I'm gonna leave it like that with okay. Yeah, okay. That's fine. That looks fine. For me, it's 3 in the middle of the night. Dang. Dang. I think the chat box is a little too... It's not far enough in the... I'm sorry, we're going to go back to the scary infinite void for a hot second. Because that's going to annoy me so much. Just bear with me. Bear with me, guys. So if I don't do something like that, it's going to annoy me. Okay, okay, back to the drawing, back to the drawing. We're safe, we're safe. Okay, and now your profile. Maybe it's a little too close, too. It's a little too close. That's where his ear would start. The widow's peak. Maybe like here. Alright. Cool, I got him done. Oh, wait. I forgot the little, the shadow thingy I have with him under the eyes. How could I forget? That was like one of the newest things I gave to his, like, character. Okay. And... Bro, what? Oh, man, I had a feeling something was off with it. I had a feeling. Yeah, I wasn't crazy. I knew something was off. Dang. Okay. You. I can see his face, right? Wait, you know, I could just copy. But do I want to do that? I don't know if I want to do that. Because I know it's going to look just a little bit off. Nah. No, I'm a slave to my work. I'm a slave to my work. I'm too honest with it. It's going to be made entire. The whole thing is legit. And okay, we can lower it a little bit. Because it might be looking a little weird after. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking, I'm sorry. Wait a second. Huh. Oh my god, I'm not crazy. What the heck? Wait, hold on a second, guys. Just actually, hold up for a sec. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Um, things weren't weren't charging well, and I had to figure out what was up with that. But we're fine now. We're fine. Okay, we're back to work. Back to work. Email says I'm going to do a live stream. A live stream. Whoa, no, I'm gonna do a live action. What the hell? What the? Hmm. Hold on for a bit. If this fails on me one more time, man, I don't know what to do. Make sure you put Gangster's Paradise in the trailer and have Blackjack in it. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Don't you know that's how you make a movie successful these days? That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Okay. Oh my god, how could I forget? He's like beat up right now. Yeah, he's like beat up right now. But do I want to draw all of his like cuts yet? I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. No, we're gonna do something like. Oh my god. Oh my. It. Hold on for real, actually. Okay, this should be able to fix the problem, at least for a hot amount of time. Darkstar says, is your device slash PC crying for help? It's not the device that's crying for help, it's the outlets. And the plugs that go in the outlets, that's the problem. Alright, alright. Back to drawing, back to drawing. We're back to here. Cause I had like, I was doing something. Okay. It was literally on his face, man. I'm like barely even in the second. In like the second frame. That's Mondstats. That's Mondstat music. Yep. Okay. Gonna move his neck a little bit. Make it a bit shorter. I don't even think I need his neck here. That's his cloak. Go in here. I'm going like that. Okay. Let me. Don't like that. Okay. Logically, this thing would be going like that. It'd be going like up here. You kind of see it, but like not really. Yeah. Maybe it can be up here. No, actually. Okay. Hair. Oh my god, finally. Finally. That took forever. That took forever. Okay, and of course I gave him, like, stuff. Because of course I did. Because of course I did. Because I can never do anything normal with these guys, can I? Just looking at them from... Okay. Yeah, we're gonna keep it like that for now. Right. This can't be too hard, since it would just be... It would basically be... Oh my god, I can't see anything. I can't see a single thing. Wow, okay. You know what if... Is there a setting here that I can lower? Nope, there's not. Okay, thank you. That's what I get for choosing the cheap option. I can't get the... I can't control the settings of this damn thing. Like here, I guess? Here's where I put the guidelines. It's more like that, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, I think I guess. I think I'm onto something. Okay. Whoops. Hey yo, it's the song that appeared in the very first Genshin trailer I ever saw. Okay. Since it moved ever so slightly, I think it would go more like that with a bit more movement? Oh no. Okay. I could put the other arm, but it's just gonna be covered by the cloak anyway. Yeah, it's just gonna be covered by the cloak anyway. Yeah. And squish up your face a little more. It needs more squish. Okay. Yeah, the middle part could be like here. Okay. I'm gonna erase this part. Okay. It's just a bit of like freaked out. Mm. Yeah, that works. Mm. Yeah. Okay. I'm onto something. I'm onto something. Darkstar says, I'm back from making hot dogs. What have completed after I burned myself? Careful there. It would be like up here. The feather would be up here. And not a fan of this part. It feels wrong. I don't know what it is. It just feels wrong. Okay. No, that looks bad. And that's too long. Okay, I think I'm done with him. You. I mean, I think I can just copy this, can't I? Because it's essentially the same thing, honestly. It's basically the same thing. Darkstar says, my cat is watching you on the TV. Nice. Okay. And then I think I'll have to remove you just so I could see what's going on. And this is... Well, the arm would feasibly move up, actually. The arm would be moving up. It would be like that. Oh, we're in Sumeru now. Okay. And... yeah, I guess I'll just leave it like that. And I cannot see your hand properly, so... Okay. All right. Both are here. This part, oh my god. Okay. You know, I just had a dumb thought. I had a dumb thought. And maybe I should have done this earlier. Maybe I should have just, done all of the, keyframes in this super sketchy style so I wouldn't have to suffer. I, like, just thought about that. I was like, you know, what if I was doing it wrong? Oh well, these are more refined storyboards. Bam, that's what they are. That's what they are now. They're just more refined storyboards, guys. That's it. That's all they are. Alright, time to draw you again. It's too late. I already committed. Hello? Teeth. Not just teeth. I want it to be like... that. Yeah, I guess like that. Maybe it's not wide enough. I think that's the problem. Nope, already messed it up. No. Darkstar says, this equally to remember an argument you had 5 days ago, saying that would have been a great comeback. Huh? Huh? I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't know. I didn't get it. It's not... It's... I'm just gonna ignore the mouth for now because it's going to actually annoy me. Like it is. Just be like, more like that. Okay, the ears. Is this the desert? Yeah, it is the desert. Okay. Cora says hello, hi! Welcome to my, me trying to figure out how to use a proper graphics tablet again. Cause I haven't properly used this since the Drift Away animatic. Everything feels wrong. Everything feels so wrong. It's the calibration, that's what it is. Okay. I'm like really starting to think that maybe I've been doing the process wrong the entire time. Like I'm really starting to think that right now, guys. That maybe I shouldn't have gone straight into, like, just basically doing a whole sketch. I probably should have, planned this out a little more, so to say. Oh no, I'm getting that thought. I'm getting that thought. I'm getting it. And it sucks because I'm already, like, over an hour into this stream, and now I'm like, I think I did it wrong from the start. Cora says, this is a Robin Hood animatic, right? Yes, yes it is. It's... Well, my idea was to make it a rough animation, but I think I kind of did everything wrong from the start. So, there's a part of me that kind of wants to redo it. But I'm already, like, so far into the stream, you know? Oh, whatever. I guess I'll keep these as, like, important frames or something? I don't know. I think that's what I'll do with them for now. But now I really am like, I think I did everything wrong from the start. Because I'm rusty, I haven't animated in a while. Alright, alright. Not bad. And now for Robbie. Oops. Okay. Sorry if I'm, like, super quiet in this stream. I guess that's another reason why I didn't do much animation. I haven't done pretty much any animation streams for a very long time. Not just, like, drawing streams, like, animating streams. Literally because of this, because once I actually, like, start, like, getting into it, I'm just, like, in full-on focus mode. And then I don't think I'm, like, I don't know, like, entertaining enough or something. I don't know. And so, like, because, like, oh, I'm talkative. I am what you would call a professional yapper. I can talk endlessly. But, like, once I'm actually, like, focused in the job, like, I am dead silent. I am, like, a ghost. It's the reason why this, like, 90% of the stream is just, like, dead silence. But I'm also kind of like... Oh man, I should like talk more. But at the same time I'm like, no, because I want to like finish to a certain part. And how can I finish to a certain part if I just keep yabbering? uh Okay. Oh, feather. I can finally do his feather. Okay. I don't think we need to do any more, considering his body is covering the whole thing. You're in the zone, exactly. Darkstar says, it is quiet if you want to say something interesting in your life. What? Man, Sumeru music is so good. Is this still the desert? Yeah, it is still the desert. It is so good. I feel like I'm like one of the very few people who actually liked the desert in Sumeru. Because a lot of people did not like it at all, but I was not. I loved the desert. Like, from the start, I loved it. And I never lost my love for it. A lot of players really hated the desert. I kind of felt like the odd one out, because I was like, no, I actually like it a lot. I think the desert was really cool. Okay. Okay. Got that little part. I live in a desert and I hate it. Dang. Hmm. I still can't help but feel like I've been doing things wrong from the start. I'm just getting that feeling that this was not a good idea. Well, like what I mean not a good idea is like basically drawing them out like fully. And I probably should have kept them in a really rough skeletal state before, because that's animating 101 and I didn't even follow that. I went to school for this. And I just didn't think about it because I don't know. Like, I am so close to literally throwing it all out and just like redoing it, but in a more like skeletal puppet state. Because I feel like that's what I should have been doing since the start. And did the music just turn off? Yes, it did. But you know what? Like, yeah, we can choose this. But you know what?
Discover the
Ew.
perfect
You know what? This could work fine, I guess, for like rough thumbnails. It could work for some like really, not thumbnails. It could work as like a rough storyboard, I guess, so to say. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna use the storyboard excuse. Yeah. But I probably am just going to like redo what I've done so far, but in a more like puppet skeletal state because yeah. Okay. Infinite Ninja says, do you have a favorite song of AC/DC? I only know of AC/DC because they were a popular band. And I have definitely heard some of their songs because they're popular, but I can't say that, like, I've ever properly listened to them. Hmm. Okay. How did I do this before? I'm like literally, I am so out of practice. Darkstar says, I don't go to art school and thought, yeah, I don't go to art school and thought, and I know that. For the whole time, I thought it was just your drawing style, haha. What? You go like that. And the feather. Again, I can't help but feel like I messed this up from the start. Specifically because I, for some reason, started, like with a full-on sketch first, which is not what you're supposed to do in animation. Cora says, I've been taking a storyboard and animation class this semester, and honestly, it's pretty fun. Finished a turnaround this week. Hey, yo, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, your animation professors would tell you, like, do not do a detailed sketch when you're doing the rough animation. Like, keep it skeletal. Keep it blobby. Keep it at its most basic shapes, and then go over it with, like, with like the detail, right? Like get the movement down first. And here I am like 2 hours into this animation going, oh shoot, that's right. Darkstar says, sorry for my grammar at 4 o'clock. I'm so tired. My brawn dead. Brain. Your brawn is dead. No more brawn. Yeah, I'm just gonna say this is like a storyboard. That's my excuse. Okay. I need to squish up your eye a little bit.
Design you feel in every
Ew!
detail.
Ad!
Technology.
You're not supposed to have ads. You're supposed to be Liyue relaxing music. Okay. Maybe like a little higher, actually. No. Okay, I need to redo the nose. Okay. Hair. You know, as the stream it's nearing its end, I figured might as well ramble about what the heck is actually going on in this scene. You know, maybe I could actually show you guys the thumbnails in full. Okay, so, for context, so in my Robin Hood story, which is also just based off the original Robin Hood ballads in general, yeah, there is this character named Guy of Gisborne, as in, like, his name is Guy, because, little historical fun fact for y'all, but Guy is a name, like, it was an actual genuine name that people, like, for real had, until later on in history, where it just kind of became another phrase for, like man, I guess. I don't know. So Guy of Gisborne, he's from Gisborne, and he was an assassin that was sent to kill Robin. And in the original ballad, they have a big fight. Robin almost dies, but Robin does end up killing him. And same thing happens in my story. Same thing happens. However, I had, like, this little moment of, like, Robin is being sent by an assassin. Or not, I don't know if that made any sense. Yeah, no, that made sense. Robin has an assassin chasing after him, and, like, in my story, or at least my first draft, mind you, this is first draft, it might change in the final product, but in my first draft, it's the first time in the story that Robin realizes that he has become, like, a big deal. Because I had this idea that for a good while he's doing his Robin Hood shtick, thinking that he is, like, at most a local problem. Is this, like, at most a problem for the city that he's in? But that's pretty much it. He has absolutely zero idea that he has quite literally become a nationwide threat. And it isn't until he's fighting this guy where Guy reveals that he see, this is what I mean. Man, when I get too into it as well, I just straight up stop drawing. But anyway, at one point Guy says, like, "Oh, I'm an assassin, I was sent to kill you." And Robin's like, "What the heck, an assassin?" Right? And he immediately says, "Oh, did the Sheriff of Nottingham send you?" Because the Sheriff of Nottingham has been, like, the only consistent threat that Robin has faced, right? And then Guy says, "The Sheriff? Oh, no, that pathetic little man didn't send me. It was the Prince." And it's like, it dawns on Robin that, like, oh shit, like, he's not just a problem to the locals, like he got the attention of the goddamn royalty. He got the attention of the monarch. And anyway, but they kind of sort of have kind of like a we're not so different after all kind of sort of thing going on. And one thing I wanted to do with that idea, again, this is first draft. This is all first draft stuff. One thing I wanted to do with that idea was that the audience's knee-jerk reaction is to say, they're very, very different. Yeah, Robin does crime, but he does it for different reasons. He doesn't do it just for the thrill of killing or anything like that. But I kind of want the audience, like, to have that knee-jerk reaction. Again, this is first draft. I wanted them to have that sort of knee-jerk reaction, only to later really think about it and go, Robin is kinder than Guy is. Robin is compassionate to people. I mean, he's Robin Hood. He helps people. He's kind and he's compassionate and he's pure-hearted, yes. But he also caused a lot of harm. And it's kind of like if Guy is a bad person for killing to put food on the table. Is Robin that different? Okay, I think I should probably mention that in my lore, pretty much everything that Robin has that isn't, like, of nature that you can find in the woods, it's stuff that he buys from the things that he steals. At least in my lore, that was my idea. You know, he wears clothes, you know, he wears clothes, he has, like
go to number one.
Oh my god, that scared me.
Moment,
that actually scared me. Like, you know, he wears clothes, he buys plates, he goes to the market to eat some food, to get food, you know, food that isn't, like, the billionth squirrel. You know, like I was, like, he does still try to replicate, like, a normal human life, you know, and, like, where are those plates going to come from? I mean, yeah, he could steal them, yeah, but he could also just steal money to then buy a plate. Does that make any sense? I hope that makes sense. And so it's like, Guy is an assassin, like, he kills people for money. And although Robin doesn't want to kill people, there are many times where he is put in a situation where he has to. And it's for, like, you know, those clothes gotta come from somewhere. The fuel for the fire. I mean, yeah, you live in the woods, but what if it rains? Firewood gotta come from somewhere, especially in the winter. Like, you know, the soap to wash your clothes gotta come from somewhere. It comes from the market. How are you, what, are you gonna steal these bars of soap? I mean, yeah, but you're also surrounded by guards, so wouldn't it be better to just use the money you have? And so it's, like, a very similar, like, I really wanted, like, the audience to at first think, like, no, they are completely different, but, like, when you think about it, you realize, like, personality-wise, the two men are night and day, but, like, their actions are a lot more similar than Robin wants to think. Cora says, his actions has consequences. Ooh. No, that's one thing I really wanted to do, and I need to draw. Oh my god. That's one thing I really wanted to do. 'Cause for this story, I did read a lot of Robin Hood ballads, but I watched a lot of Robin Hood movies. Because I just wanted to see how people interpreted these stories, you know? And I did not do that with King Arthur. I actually avoided it for the longest time, like watching King Arthur movies. Because Robin Hood has a vague story, kinda, sort of. But when I mean story, I just mean, like, really popular short stories that tend to be stitched together to make a larger story. The Robin Hood legend is very episodic, as opposed to King Arthur, which is a lot more linear. Like, there is a very clear timeline of events that happen. And even when new stories were created, they were still made to fit in that timeline. Robin isn't like that. Robin is literally just, there was a time he got outlawed, and there was a time he got pardoned, and everything else takes place in between. If that makes any sort of sense. And so I felt bad, and so to me, it, like, I could watch the Robin Hood movies no problem, because it's like, yeah, I could watch them no problem, because it wasn't as, like, with the story. Mr. Ghibli's guy says, hi again, hey. God damn it, guys, like, I'm getting near the time where I'm supposed to be ending the stream, and I'm finally getting, like, oh, you know, actually, you know, maybe the stream can go on for a wee bit longer. But, hold on, I'm thinking, I was gonna say something, oh yeah, I watched a bunch of Robin Hood movies, for the sake of story, and one thing I noticed immediately, and this does require the tiniest bit of context, but one of the things that I noticed pretty much immediately was the fact that I didn't watch all of the Robin Hood movies, I just watched, like, the most popular ones. They almost never put Robin's actions into question. Robin is always portrayed as the good guy. And it makes sense for, like, the Disney version, because, like, it's made for like a younger audience, and also just Disney's Robin Hood is just very clearly meant to be a very chill film, like a very chill, not too complicated movie. I don't think the complexities of morality was something they really wanted to touch on in this feel good film. So, and it's again just also made for younger audiences. And even like the original 1930s Errol Flynn movie, which is geared at a slightly older audience, but it's very camp, and I'm
Chevy Equinox EV,
get out of here.
You and your money can go further in America's most affordable EV.
It's very camp, but in a very it's a very intentionally camp. It's the stereotypical Robin Hood. It's like when you think of Robin Hood, you think the 1930s film. So like the Disney version, I didn't mind, and the Errol Flynn version, I didn't mind. And then there was like Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, which was an attempt to take the story at a much more serious tone. And like as dark as the movie wanted it to be, with like blood and torture and war and like actual deaths, they still never put Robin's morals into question. At least to my mind. They have a thing where they have at one point in the film they mention that Robin was kind of an asshole when he was younger, but like it's not about like the Robin Hood, you know. Darkstar says it's a very old story and people mostly see him as a hero to some degree. Yeah, and it makes sense. I mean, cuz he is a hero. But he's a hero in a very unconventional way. I think that's the entire reason why people love Robin Hood so much, is because yes, he is the hero, but in a way that like in any other situation wouldn't be considered heroic, you know. He's not an anti-hero, no, cuz like in all of the Robin Hood stories, he is genuine. He doesn't give to the people as like a publicity stunt. It comes from a very genuine place. But it's kind of like how he helps people, which is where it gets complicated. What I'm trying to say here is that they almost never actually touched on Robin's actions and the morality of those actions. Because it's like, yeah, eat the rich. Who cares about the rich people? Ha ha ha. And it's like, okay, but he's still taking lives. And he is still stealing from these people. And yeah, they're rich. Rich people suck. But did you know that in the original stories, he didn't only steal from the rich? He basically stole from anybody who wasn't poor, which includes just normal people who happen to be very well off. And like, yeah, and like, I don't know, I find that interesting. And again, there's also the whole, like, just even with the nobles, it's like he's still killing them. He's still stealing. He lies, he cheats, he steals, he swindles. That's his whole thing. That's his whole gimmick. And this music, oh my god, that's his whole thing. That's his whole gimmick. But like, it's only good because it's rich people. But is that really good? You know, it's like that. That was kind of like the vibe I wanted to, not the vibe. That was kind of the idea I was thinking about while originally making the story. He survives. He does survive. What's your favorite Robin Hood adaptation movie? Ooh. I'm going to be 100% honest, and I know it sounds like such a cheap response. The original 1930s film. Okay, when I say original, it's not the original. There was black and white Robin Hood movies. The famous 1930s Errol Flynn movie, like, I think the reason why is because it is like the epitome of how people in the modern day see Robin Hood. It's like, it is Robin Hood for the modern day. It is the everything about Robin Hood in the modern day. And the reason why I keep repeating the modern day is because I do like the movie, and it is massively influential as to how people see the legend today. But not only was it sanitized because it's 1930s Hollywood, but also, you know, just a couple things here and there that the original stories and ballads had that they removed. Robin Hood, there was a lot of edge in the Robin Hood movie. And not the Robin Hood movies, and the Robin Hood stories. it was very violent. They're very violent stories, as per medieval stories tend to be. They were very violent stories. They were also very raunchy. Well, okay, not raunchy. Crude. Very crude stories as well. Not in a terrible way though, or at least like to my desensitized mind, not in a terrible way. They're the original Robin Hood stories were very clearly meant for the people. Adult people. There's action, there's blood, there's guts, there's love. Risque? No, not necessarily. Well, I mean, I guess kind of. Yeah. A little bit. But it's not that much either. Like, it's very, like, there's a reason why Robin Hood became very mainstream. It kind of teetered on it really loved to teeter on the line of, like, mainstream, but also, like, somewhat niche. Yeah. Hold on, the music turned off. Hold on. Where's my mouse? There it is. Yeah, sure, Dragon Spine music. Sure, why not? Are you gonna give me... Yep, another ad. Hold on a bit, guys. Okay. Yeah, not risque, but, like, I don't know, it's very violent, you know? And as per the usual old-timey story, like, when they talk about people, like, banging, or just the illusion of people playing the saxophone, it was just said straight up. Like there is no euphemism or anything. Like people would just say it. And I'm not saying that, like, original Robin Hood was, like, super adult or anything, because it's not. Again, there is a reason why it became mainstream. But, like, when you're reading an old ballad, okay, and you get to a scene where Robin Hood shows Friar Tuck Maid Marian and makes a joke about him sleeping with her. and it being, like, at least according to the article that I was reading, and it being the like funniest thing ever to the medieval people. Because Maid Marian is a noblewoman and Friar Tuck is a monk and Robin Hood is her boyfriend, basically, and he like the whole situation is stupid. It's stupid, but that shit was like peak comedy back in the 1400s. So, you know what, maybe it is peak comedy. Darkstar says the original Robin Hood story is very sugar-coated. Saxophone. No, that's my favorite euphemism to use. You know, a lot of people like to use euphemisms, like, I don't know, like magnets or getting dirty or something like that. My favorite euphemisms are with instruments, more specifically saxophones. I love playing the saxophone. Alright? You play the saxophone so much that your fingers hurt and the little keypads don't want to work anymore. Or, like, I wanted to play the saxophone, but my reed was not it. Like, okay, I'll stop. YouTube is going to look at this stream with like 5 views and be like, what are you what is wrong with you? Demonetized. Okay. My favorite is Black Hole. Oh, Black Hole is good. Black Hole is also really good. God, Dragonspine music is beautiful. Anywho, but back to the Robin shtick. So yeah, it was like, I don't know, I really wanted to touch on the complex moralities of Robin Hood. Because, like, I think, like, people focus so much on the noble part of the noble outlaw. But not many people think about the outlaw part of the noble outlaw. Because people like to see Robin as a vigilante. And I mean, he is. But, like, if Robin existed today, and if he did the things he does in the original stories today, Homeboy would get canceled. So bad. Like, people would see him as a legit problem in society. And I don't mean a menace, like in the he's just a little gremlin. Like, no, like he would be like a legit threat. Because I mentioned in a lot of these old ballads, yes, he would steal from rich people, but it wasn't only rich people. He stole from anybody who was well off. Because his mentality was like, they don't need this stuff. And I mean, yeah, he's not wrong, but it's still their stuff. You know, it's that complicated. It's the complicated stuff. Mr. Ghibli Guy says, last summer I watched all Ghibli films and I love them so much that I named my channel after them. But I recently took a break from my community tab. Ooh. Yeah, Studio Ghibli films are amazing. You know, there's one of these days, I seriously need to make a review series. I had this idea for a review series. I'm like technically doing my epic one because I need to get working on part 2. But there's one review series that I really, really want to make, but I kind of want to get back in the like video making sphere first. Back in the vibes. But I've been stuck on this frame forever. Oh my god. back to the vibes. But I really want to make a review series of this studio called Nippon Animation. And I don't know if they're dead. I keep thinking they're dead, but I'm not sure. Because Nippon Animation was basically the Studio Ghibli before Studio Ghibli. And I mean that dead ass, as in a lot of people from Nippon eventually worked in Studio Ghibli. And a lot of people who worked in Studio Ghibli worked on Nippon Animation. Nippon Animation mostly did television. They didn't really do movies. So their shows are, you know, obviously with a lot lower of a budget. But you can literally feel the Ghibli in them. Oh, even better? Miyazaki and Takahata worked in Nippon Animation before they worked on Ghibli. Before they created Ghibli. So when I say that Nippon Animation is literally Studio Ghibli but for TV, like, I actually mean that dead ass. A lot of, their main thing, at least back in the 80s, their main... Get out of here.
Whether it's a chef tasting menu or
their main thing was, adaptations of classic literature. So, you know, a lot of their animes were stuff like The Jungle Book, Heidi, Swiss Family Robinson, Tom Sawyer, Little Women, Anne of Green Gables, which I'm pretty sure just got a remake recently. That was like that was their main thing, and I forgot where I was going for. Oh yeah. Like, I really want to make a review series of me reviewing Nippon Animation shows. Because there's so much love for Ghibli. And I love Ghibli, don't get me wrong. There's so much love for Ghibli. And to me, it's like, we have this entire studio that's literally just Ghibli but on a lower budget. It's literally just Ghibli on a lower budget. And okay, they're not as crazy and fantastical because, again, lower budget, and also they do have a story that they're adapting. It's not like everything is coming out of Miyazaki's noggin, but like it's the same people, and it's very similar vibes as well. Like, these shows have very similar vibes to Ghibli. Not the exact vibes, obviously, but like very similar vibes. And so, like, I really like to consider like their shows as just like Studio Ghibli but a TV show. Yeah, Mr. Ghibli Guy says they often make standard anime shows and can be enjoyed for all ages, but they wanted to make one specific studio that can be enjoyed for all audiences around the world, not just their people. Yeah. I was waiting for you to get back into making a video for 200 years. They got that cozy cottagecore vibe. Yeah, they do. And one thing I love so much about Nippon is because their films are based off of classic lit, like, pretty much all of their shows is, like, historical fiction. Yeah, because they're classic literature, yeah. Most of these stories take place in the like 1800s. And if you guys have watched me or like watched my streams long enough, and I'm talking like years ago, you would know that like you would know that I love history, and especially historical vibes and aesthetics and stuff like that. And so like it's like, whoa, so you're telling me there is an entire run of classical literature adaptations in a Studio Ghibli style, and like and it's all like and it all takes place in like the 1800s, and I love it. I love it so much. I need to make a series about that one day. The only problem is that these shows are like borderline impossible to find. That's the problem. Like, half the reason I watched the ones I did when I was a kid, when I was little, was because my mother watched them when she was young, because they, like, a good chunk of Nippon animation shows were shown all over the world except English-speaking countries, because I honestly don't know why. I think it's because it was the 1970s and the 1980s, and like English-speaking countries were still very on the anime, I think. Meanwhile, like, other countries didn't care. I don't know. All I know is like my mom watched it when she was little, watched some of those shows when she was little, so she showed them to me. And it's so funny because it's like, here are these shows that literally changed my life. They literally changed, like everything that I do in my writing, in my art style, in my everything. And yet, whenever I talk to people, nobody has any clue what I'm talking about. Cora says, don't suppose they came out on DVD or VHS? I mean, they're out there. There is a way to find them, but, most of them are either fan subs, like fan, subtitles, and if they do have English dubs, because again, it's the 70s and the 80s, the English dubs, it's a bit of a gamble. Sometimes you can get one that's pretty alright, actually, not too bad, and then other times it's just like, ooh. What was your first Ghibli? Mine was Spirited Away. My first Ghibli film. It was either Spirited Away or Princess Mononoke. And yeah, I know that sounds so like, oh, of course. It sounds so like, duh, but I'm pretty sure, I don't remember which one, but those two were my first. I don't remember which one was the first though. Okay, I've been stuck on this frame for way too long. I was talking about Robin Hood, whoopsie. I was talking about Robbie and his stuff. Okay, I can move on to the next. Ah, shoot, you're here? Okay. We're just gonna... do that. There we go. And you also have... this little thing going on. Okay. Turn a little bit. Okay. My second was Kiki. Oh my, for me, my first Ghibli movie was Ponyo. That's cute. I think my third was The Wind Rises. And, like, because I had like a whole little Studio Ghibli binge when I was like 14-ish. And honestly, The Wind Rises, I didn't really get it all that much. And then fast forward to this year, where I rewatched the movie again. And I'm like, man, this is such an underrated movie. It's like a 14-year-old me didn't get it that much, but then I watched it again, and I'm like, wait, no, this movie's actually incredible. Cora says, for me it was either Kiki, Ponyo, Castle in the Sky, or Totoro. Had them all at the same time. That's cute. You wanna know what's funny? Before The Boy and the Heron, because I was going to say the last Ghibli film I watched, I mean, I guess it was The Boy and the Heron because it, like, just came out, but ignoring The Boy and the Heron, I think, like, the last Ghibli film I watched, deadass, was Howl's Moving Castle, and I know that sounds crazy, because Howl's Moving Castle was, like, it's like one of the really, really popular Ghibli films. I don't know why I took forever to watch it, but I eventually did, and of course I became obsessed with it, okay? Like, of course Howl became my new boyfriend. Of course this little... Of course this little goober who can't handle the thought of black hair was going to take over my everything. Of course. Of course. Duh. Okay, I'll stop. Chorus says, "Oh, The Wind Rises makes me so sad." Yeah, no, it's so good. It's so good. The music shut off again. Just gonna pick like a random one. Sure, Samara, whatever.
A 3% IRA match with
Get out of here.
Gold. The reckoning has commenced.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay, next frame, that's gonna be with you. Okay, but where was I? Something, Studio Ghibli, but before that I was talking about, like, my dumb little Robin Hood story, complicated moralities, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, it was definitely something I wanted to really touch on in the story, because I didn't see anybody else talk about that, and, like, a lot of people really like to see the Robin Hood story as this very tight, black and white, you know, like, rich people bad, poor people good thing, right? And here's me being like, there's nuance to that, there's complexities to that, you know? And, like, I don't know, like I really wanted to touch on this idea that, like, is Robin Hood better than the nobles? Okay, he is, because he's kinder. He is, like, yes. But I guess what I mean is, like, how different is he? Yeah, he's helping people, but he's helping people in very questionable ways. And it's kind of like, I'm saving my nation from war. But how many war crimes did you commit to win that war? You know, stuff like that is what I kind of want the audience to think about in the story. Well, like, I want them at first to be like, yeah, like eat the rich, I guess. Like, I don't know, rich people bad, poor people good. And then later on, I kind of want the audience to be like, what is a good person? Glorian Ablan says, "Hey, what animation are you doing?" So I messed up completely at the start of this animation, like from the beginning, so I'm probably gonna redo the whole thing. But it's supposed to be a rough animation. I'm just doing like the main frames here. But it's a mini animation with a story that I'm writing, which is based off the Robin Hood legends. And here Robin is fighting this assassin called Guy of Gisborne, and it's supposed to be like a really short animation, sorry. It's supposed to be like a really short, rough animation, based off a song, and it's basically just like the two characters being like, we are not so different. Yeah, we're completely different. No, we're not. It's something like that. Darkstar says, for me, the crazy is the movie has lasted for a very long time. Robin is crazy in the head. What? Okay, hands. I can draw hands. But yeah, I even went as far as thinking, whoa, cool, thank you. Yeah, I even went as far as to thinking, like, a lot of Robin's friends don't like what he's doing. Not because it isn't good. Like, of course it's good, and I do mean that in quotation marks. A lot of what Robin does is good in quotation marks, but, like, I was also thinking the idea of, like, Robin's actions consistently, constantly, they put them in danger. They're in constant danger all the time. And the thing about Robin's friends, his merry men, like Little John and the other characters, like, I wanted, like, a big thing with them is that they're just normal people. It's not like King Arthur, where it's about knights and
That's me,
warriors
driving through the
and
country.
get out of here.
Vacation home, newly expanded business. I know what you're thinking. This only happens in dreams. Actually, it happened for me with help from a Wells
Dang,
Fargo
just
Premier team.
come on.
Ready to meet the dream team? You can with Wells Fargo. With Asana,
Ah!
here to help level up your goals.
Leave! Thanks. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it's not like the Robin Hood stories where, not the Robin Hood, it's not like the King Arthur stories where it's like all about knights and warriors and you know, people who spent their entire lives training for a fight. Robin's friends, I was thinking, like, they're farmers, they're millers, they're musicians, they're monks. They're normal people. Yeah, gotta douse the narrative with moral complexity. Exactly. Yeah, they're just normal people who lived normal lives until they encountered Robin. And I was kind of thinking, like, you know, you go from a miller, you know, someone who makes flour, that is your job, and you're suddenly involved. You suddenly have to fight tooth and nail, literally, constant against, like, against guards all the time, and it's dangerous. But you do it because this music. Oh my god, it's not fitting. But you do it. Well, no, it is fitting. That's why it's low-key, like, But you do it because you believe in the cause of your friend. You believe in what he says. You believe that, like, the danger that you put yourself in will help people along the... It will make this broken little city you live in into a better place. And soon you come to realize that your friend wants to believe in what he says, but he doesn't know if he can, kind of thing. And yes, I'm totally milking this because of the very well-timed music here. And even more so, it's like, you believe in your friend's cause, and you help him whenever he doubts himself. But you also see him deteriorate over time. You see this happy-go-lucky boy cling on to that happiness. You see his body get, like, battered all the time. So easily. Because he can't fight. And the only reason he is alive is because he's good with a bow. And you eventually get to a point where you're like, I want to keep fighting for my friend. I want to keep fighting for this cause. But how worth it is it going to be when I see the very person who gave me that hope deteriorate right in front of me? Okay, Dark Star says, Robin is really insane to do something like that. Something that crazy and insane. No one would do that in a million years. Yes, actually, that is something I didn't touch on too much in my first draft, but it was something that I thought about. And it was something that I mentioned once or twice in that original draft, where I have a scene where Robin's just, like, in town. He's doing his thing. He's giving money to the poor, you know, like his normal Robin Hood shtick. There's, like, a little boy. And this little boy basically says, like, wow, Robin Hood, you're my hero. And Robin's like, haha. And, you know, it's supposed to be, like, a cute scene. And Robin says, you know, if you ever, and he's kind of saying this to the kid's father as well. He says, like, if you ever feel like living in this town, is like too much, you can always move into the woods with me and my friends. And the dad of this little boy immediately says no. 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 And he's like, I highly respect you, Robin, but I do not want my son to follow that path. And Robin, and then, you know, Robin takes it. He's like, yeah, okay, that's fair. Right? Because Robin knows it's dangerous. Don't get, like, I want to make it very clear that my Robin knows that what he's doing is dangerous. It's kind of part of his self-deterioration, but that's like a whole thing for another thing. And I have a scene, again, first draft. I have a scene that really touches on that, which again, I really want to touch on that even more when I get to my final draft of it. But I touch on that even more when he has a conversation with the Sheriff of Nottingham, where I wanted the Sheriff to also be a very complicated character. I wanted the Sheriff to definitely be someone who you kind of start to like over time, and you start to really understand him, and you start to realize that he too is part of a corrupted system, and he's just doing whatever he can to survive through it. And there's a moment in the story where Robin learns of this, like he finds out about that side of the Sheriff. And of course, Robin, being like the nice boy he is, he tells the Sheriff, like, if you agree that the systems in place are so messed up, why don't you come with me? Why don't you fight for reform, fight for freedom, fight for whatever the heck, you know, fight to make this place into something better. And the Sheriff gets mad. And the Sheriff becomes absolutely pissed. Because the Sheriff is like, half the reason my life sucks is because of you. Oh my god, get out! You're ruining the emotions. And I'm not going to get too deep into why exactly Robin frustrates the Sheriff so much. But the basic gist of it is that the Sheriff agrees with a lot of Robin's ideals, but he genuinely does not see Robin's efforts as enough. Because Robin isn't a king. Robin isn't he's not an aristocrat. He's not a king. He is a noble, but he's a very, like, what are they called? Lower nobility? Like, he is a noble, but he's not, like, the stereotypical uber fancy schmancy noble. He's a noble in the sense that, like, his family owns a bunch of land, but that's, like, kind of it. Like, what I'm saying is, like, Robin really doesn't have the power to change anything. And that's not the part that the Sheriff hates. That's not the part that he hates. Because, you know, somebody has to stand up for what's right. No, it's the fact that Robin is so willing to... He is so willing to put himself in unimaginable pain and danger for something that the Sheriff is like, it's just not feasible. It's just not. You are a kid from the goddamn Midlands of England. You're basically from the Detroit of the UK. You can't change the minds of feudal lords. And he doesn't. Anyway, okay, I'm getting, like, hella deep into this. Okay. I'm getting too deep into that. I need to be ending the stream soon. I need to be ending this stream soon. I gotta, like, redo some of these frames. But there's a little bit of, a little bit of that. But, like, for real, though, the main reason the sheriff refuses the option to become a merry men, to join Robin's gang, to, you know, this, all of that. The main reason the sheriff doesn't want to do that is quite simply, you know, it's like, if he did that, that is a death sentence. That is literally a death sentence, legally, by the law. Like, what Robin is doing is the death sentence. So when I say him joining the Merry Men is a death sentence, I mean that in the most literal form. In the most literal, if he were caught, that is an execution and torture. That is a torture and an execution. No negotiations, no fighting, none of that. Robin is willing to accept that fate. He is willing to go through that. The sheriff is not. And quite frankly, most people are not. But that doesn't make the sheriff bad. Would that make you bad? Anyway. Alright, I need to stop. Okay. I think I'm only going to do this next frame, this next one, and then I think we're going to cut the stream afterwards. Bam. Okay, last one. That Samara music is so good. Okay.
So excited for book club.
See you tonight. Bye.
Sigh.
Hey, Mata, how can I rearrange my living room to feel more...
No. Alrighty then. Finished it. I finished the frame. Okay. I think that might be it for now. Oh yeah, actually, maybe I should show you guys the actual, like... Okay, so I need to explain the song that I'm using for this. Okay, so Epic the Musical has a lot of cut songs. There's quite a few cut songs. According to Jorge, like, there is more cut songs than there are, like, actual songs in the final product. Anyway, what I'm saying by this is that quite a few of those songs, not all of them, obviously, but a good chunk of those songs have been, like, a little bit teased, a little bit shown a little bit to the public, you know, by him. And one of these cut songs is the song called Unhand Him, which was a song that, was supposed to be in an, like, it was supposed to be in an entirely different story arc than the musical cut that entire story arc and, like, replaced it with, like, another thing. But there was, like, an entire story arc, in one of Epic's drafts, that, you know, Jorge decided to cut, and the song called Unhand Him, or at least that's what the fandom calls it, was one of those songs. It's one of those songs that, like, a part of me really wishes was in the final musical, but I also understand because, quite frankly, it literally doesn't fit into the musical anymore because it was part of a storyline that was completely removed. Anyway, what I'm saying here is that, like, it's a fight, an argument between Odysseus and Eurylochus. And Eurylochus, okay, so they're raiding a city. First of all, wild start, but yes, the Greeks, the Ithacans, I don't know. Odysseus's fleet decide to raid a city, because they need food, but Odysseus commands that they don't kill anybody. And Eurylochus is like, how can you do a raid if you don't kill anybody? That's crazy. And so he kills someone's son, the son of a priest, and Odysseus is like, bro, what did I tell you? I told you to not kill. Also, have you no compassion? Have you no compassion for these people? And then it gets to the part that's actually like in this song, which is basically Eurylochus saying, we are the same, and Odysseus being like, we're not the same, and then Eurylochus being like, oh, then what did I see you do in Troy? And he's referring to the infant. It's mostly because, Odysseus says, like, what's the point of killing an innocent boy? And then Eurylochus pulls the, yeah. What did I see you do in Troy over there? I literally saw you yeet a baby off of a roof. What do you mean? And then, like, the music kind of insinuates that Odysseus is kind of having, like, a moment. Anyway, like, again, completely cut moment. It was part of a completely different storyline that is no longer in Epic anymore. But, like, I was like, ooh, but you know what this... It doesn't fit entirely, but you know what this does low-key fit? It does low-key fit this scene in my Robin Hood story. So I took a little snippet of a song, a really short, like, 30-second snippet, and decided to, like, and wanted to make it into, like, a little, like, rough animation thingy. Okay, so we're going to remove these, because if not, then you guys won't be able to see the thumbnails very well. I'm sorry, the thumbnails are really, really blown up.
Boxes can be
It's fine.
beautiful, but what if they were made from recycled materials?
Okay, we can shut this off now. Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn this on. Here y'all go. Have fun. Have fun.
Oh, come now, you don't really think we're different. We're one and the same. We're not the same. You don't get to have all the power and none of the blame. You're not saving any lives by killing an innocent boy. Then what in Olympus's name did you do in Troy? We're one and the same.
So, that's yeah, that's what I got so far. I think I have to remove some of these keyframes because I think at some points they're going a little too fast, but again, it's kind of like animation really is trial and error. It really is. Is this too much? Is this too little? I don't know. So it's a lot of fiddling. I'm still kind of on that fiddling stage, which is probably why I shouldn't have sketched out these characters completely, and I probably should have kept them as little blobs so that I could fiddle around with them without getting, without being like, no, I worked so hard on that frame. I should have done that. That's like Animation 101. I'm rusty, guys. But, yeah, I'll just play it one more time for you.
Oh, come now, you don't really think we're different. We're one and the same. We're not the same. You don't get to have all the power and none of the blame. You're not saving any lives by killing an innocent boy. Then what in Olympus's name did you do in Troy? We're one and the same.
But yeah, that's what I got. Alrighty then. Alright, guys. Let's get back to the Infinite Void Let's get back to the Infinite Void. Back to my little avatar. Right. Alright. Chew, what do I say? Man, I don't know. Oh, Mr. Ghibli guy says, oh, wait. Hold on a second. I didn't read any of these comments. Hold on, wait, no, I gotta read these. What? Okay. Mr. Ghibli guy says, your interpretations are really interesting. I want to as well, but people couldn't care less about that as they take on as an opinion. However, it is a different thing. First of all, thank you. It is something that I do fear a little bit, because I do fear that people will kind of take it as a sympathy for the rich, corrupt people. Oh, would would think of the poor, corrupt CEOs. And I really do fear that people will see it that way. But that's again, this is all like my intention. Whether or not it's going to end up that way is is for you guys to determine. But my intention, I do want to say this outright, my intention isn't necessarily, like, to glorify any side. It's more so just an acknowledgement that, like, things are complicated, you know? Not everybody born rich is this evil, corrupt person. Same thing, not everyone born poor is this kind, humble person. I was thinking Guy himself, which is the assassin in my little animatic, Guy, in my lore, because he doesn't have a lore in the original stories, in my lore, he was basically from the hood. He is the perfect, like he is the poor kid. That's why he became an assassin. And I don't want people to be like, Guy is good, actually. No, Guy's a terrible person. He's crazy. He's insane. Again, in my lore. In my lore, he's crazy. He's insane. And then there's Robin, who is of, albeit, lower nobility. In modern day terms, you could say, like, upper middle class. He is of lower nobility, and he is this very sweet and kind-hearted person. I basically wanted to show that there's nuance to these things, you know? But, like, obviously the poor are heavily oppressed and the rich are the oppressors. And, like, I basically want to and then, like, again, my intention is to show that, like, things are a lot more complicated than they are. Not everything is, like, black and white. Like, there are still people. You know, there is still people. There are good people, there are bad people, but they are still people. The reason why these, like, tech billionaires is so hard to relate to is because they barely feel like people. Anyway. But, thank you. Cora says, it's not worth it, bro, the character. Yeah, no, it's definitely something I want the audience to think about. I really want them to think about, like, do you want to be Robin Hood? Anyway, like, do you want to be the guy who lives in the woods? Like, he, again, in my lore, he doesn't have, he lives in, like, a tent. Most of the time, he straight up sleeps outside. And it sounds really nice and idyllic, but it's not. It is not. There's a reason why humans build houses. there's a reason why we build shelters. Like, Robin really, like, he is living a free life, but, you know, life also kind of sucks. On. Darkstar said, nice humming, thank you. Mr. Ghibli Guy said, it's weird how people cannot take a difference between opinions and interpretations as, yeah, in my opinion. People really couldn't care less about it. Yeah. Using the hyperfixations for your hyperfixation, genius. Mr. Ghibli Guy also said, opinions are subjective, but interpretations are usually what comes to mind, how you take on fictional stories, characters, designs, etc. What they're trying to tell the audience. Darkstar says, when you remember cut songs, I remember the Lorax Biggering song. Heck yeah. Oh, damn, that's cool. Yeah, Mr. Ghibli Guy says, what's the name of this song? So this cut song that I was showing, I don't know if it has a proper name. That's for Jorge to say, but at least, like, what the people are calling it, it's called Unhand Him. And Darkstar says, I always love catching your live streams. It is very enjoyable. Thank you. The music shut off. Why the music shut off? Come on. You know what? Maybe we don't need it. Actually, no. I'll put it back on just for, like, the ending. But, yeah, no. Okay, so man, I need to talk more about my Robin Hood story. I just don't want to spoil things for you guys. 'Cause yes, it's Robin Hood, okay? Like, everybody knows the Robin Hood story. It's like, whoa, spoilers for ballads that were made literally 1,000 years ago. But it's more like I've kind of turned the story into, like, you know, like, my own thing, my own, I am trying to stay as close as possible to the original ballads, but I want to, like, get deeper into it. It's like, okay, Guy of Gisborne in the ballad was an assassin that Robin fought, and Robin won. That's it. That's his entire character. His entire character was just an assassin who was after him. And then here I am being like, okay, but who is Gisborne? who is Guy of Gisborne? Like, what is his ideals? What led him down this path? What is his relationship with Robin, albeit very, very short, you know? And so, like, I really want to talk about it, but, like, at the same time, I don't want to accidentally spoil things specifically for, like, my lore of the characters, and so it's kind of sort of like, I really want to ramble on about it, but I really don't want to spoil things. And also, like, I have a deep-seated fear that, like, what if I accidentally hype things up way too much? You know? Like, I hype things just a little bit too much, and, yeah, I hype things up just a little bit too much that, like, when I eventually release the final story, you people are like, I mean, it's Cora says, why is Guy Gisborne? Yeah, why? But, yeah, and I could also go on about, like, Robin and his ideals and his relationship with his friends, Maid Marian as well, because Maid Marian is one of the few female characters, you know, it's a lot of, like, how do I make her into, like, a really cool character, but at the same time not girl bossing her too much, because again, like, a big part of the Robin Hood story, a big part of its appeal to me personally is the fact that they are just normal people. And so yeah, Marian's a noble woman, but I'm saying that, like, she's just kind of like a normal girl, a bit of a tomboyish girl, but generally a normal person. And it's like, I don't want to girl boss her too much, but I still want to make her into, like, a very interesting character who has her own sort of strength and, you know, all of that. Mr. Ghibli Guy says, it's all right if you talked about the whole movie, haha. I get you to share your experience after you feel fascinated with the movie. It's very rare to see someone who takes in a deeper level. I'm assuming you mean the story. Darkstar says, I think we all know why you don't want to spoil things. I think everyone in chat has been spoiled to a movie once in their life. Yeah, because, like, I'm the same way with my King Arthur story. Actually, more so with my King Arthur story because it is a generally linear narrative, where it's like, it feels silly to not want to spoil a legend that's been existing for, like, damn near 2,000 years. But at the same time, it's not the story that I fear spoiling. It's the details in that story that I don't want to spoil. It's the, okay, here are some events that every Arthurian person knows about. Like, every person who knows something about King Arthur knows about. Excalibur. Let's go with that. It's like, everybody knows Excalibur. Everybody knows it's this big, uber powerful sword. Yeah, cool, whatever. Awesome. And then here I am being like, okay, but do I want to tell people how, because Excalibur is such a buff, like, is such a powerful weapon, by the end of the story, Arthur struggles to use a normal sword. Which, okay, it's not a spoiler, but it's an example. It's like a detail that I added from these original stories that, again, this is like a dumb little example, but, like, I could say that about, like, the relationships of the characters. Like, we could say this about the relationships of the characters. What is Arthur's relationship with his foster brother? What's his relationship with Lancelot? Blah, blah, blah. It's that part that I don't want to spoil. Because like, that's the part that I want to keep secret, you know? I want to keep secret so that it slowly reveals itself as the finished story comes out. Darkstar says, I think we... Oh, yeah, no. Then lied to us. Talk about a fake story. I mean, I could. But I also get, like, too excited. I get too excited when I talk about these things. Okay. I've been streaming for damn near 3 hours. I need to stop. So for Thursday. Not for Thursday. Today is Thursday. Tuesday. I'm sorry. I forgot. So for Tuesday... Honestly, we're probably just going to be animating again. I think I'm just going to redo these frames and actually do them in, like, a blobby puppet type style so that I can actually focus on the goddamn movement. But I think I will keep the frames that I have kept just as a general, like, style guide, I think. Because, I mean, that's how storyboards work. I'll say that this is a storyboard. Like an actual proper storyboard. But yeah, hopefully, like, next stream, I'm actually, like, animating, like, for reals. For me, today is Friday at different timestamps. Dang. Yeah, for me, it's still Thursday. But, yeah, I think that's what we're going to be doing next stream. I will say, Genshin is cooking up some massive stuff right now. When that patch comes out, like the newest patch that's going to come out in, I don't know, in like a couple weeks, you best believe I am playing that. But as for now, we're doing silly little animation streams. Hopefully I can. You made me stay up through the night at 6. Dang, sorry. But yeah, that's what we're doing. And I mean, I guess I could go on more about my Robin Hood story. But I just need to be very careful as to how much I'm willing to reveal. Okay, but like, I think that's it, guys. It's been real fun, especially in this like latter half of the stream. Yeah, see you guys on Thursday, and I don't know, maybe I'll just ramble more about the story, but I don't know, or maybe my Robin. I mean, well, yeah, the Robin Hood story. Maybe my King Arthur story as well. Maybe my Genshin fanfics. I mentioned that I only mentioned it once in another stream of mine, but I've been making like silly little Genshin fanfictions as a way to practice my writing abilities. Oh, you know, maybe I could talk about those. Maybe I can talk about those instead, actually. Okay, but for reals, I'm off. See y'all. I don't know. Drink water. Stay hydrated. See y'all next time. Bye.